I definitely think with these kinds of videos, you just have to see the fun.
I can't see the fun, Gemma. I can't see the fun.
Okay, what's the next topic, Homie?
I don't have the temperament for this sort of thing.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Need to Know. I'm your host, Gemma Stafford, professional chef, cookbook author, and the creator of Bigger Bolder Baking. And as always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Shukla, who is the cocoa powder on top of my tiramisu.
Speaking of,
Because I love tiramisu, but sometimes they make me cough.
I love that. That might.
Is that a good one?
Yeah, it's very good.
This is very lazy because I'm just giving myself my own. I'm combining my jokes with what I think are jokes to my segue into the hot from the oven. Well, to be fair, there's only two of us here. Okay, people are going to start tuning out. Okay, hot from the oven. My note says a pool of tiramisu.
What
Pool
is
of
this?
tiramisu.
Okay.
No, I have to say.
Tell me why this is an awesome thing. Like, just convince me here.
Because it's so outrageous and over the top.
Okay, let's talk about what it is. What is a pool of tiramisu?
There are videos everywhere of people doing tiramisu in different vessels, in vehicles, in paddling pools, in wheelbarrows. I'm going to show you. We have some videos. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can check these out. This guy, they're saying it's in a restaurant, a wheelbarrow of tiramisu.
Okay, it just like, I mean, I'm sure it's a really clean wheelbarrow. I'm sure, but we have a wheelbarrow on the side of our house and it is full of dirt and it's disgusting and it's rusty. And all I can think about is like,
how cool. But isn't that like, I think there's definitely a wow factor. He has a shovel. He's shoveling it.
How do you refrigerate that?
He had it in to be fair, he had it in the walk-in, but look at this drawer.
Is
drawer in the
is
kitchen.
that like a chilled drawer?
No, it's not a chilled drawer.
How do you refrigerate this?
That's not. Oh, actually, no, it is a chilled drawer. It is a chilled drawer. It is a chilled drawer. But what I don't like is the communal dipping in a kitchen. They have a communal drawer. They have a big tiramisu in it, and they're all dipping in to the tiramisu. The one that actually does make me cringe a little bit. There's a million of these online. I've seen them. People make them in the backs of the beds of trucks.
I mean,
it's crazy. This one does gross me out a little bit. It's like a kid's pool.
Oh God! Do the kids get to go inside there?
Look at that.
Like
the size of that thing. But you know what's crazy? Some like everybody's different, right? So people are probably thinking like, oh my God, like how gross would that be to get it on your skin?
Yeah.
Or like, it's so fatty and oily and whatever. My thought is that's a risk. If I wanted to do a video like that, thinking like, oh, I could maybe do a viral video. Do you know how much it would cost me to build a pool of tiramisu?
No,
it would cost a fortune.
No, you first of all, you fill the pool with like styrofoam.
The foam on the bottom.
It's like,
yeah,
garbage
bags.
How many of those people actually filled maybe the wheelbarrow because it was a restaurant?
The wheelbarrow did look like it was legit.
You know what? But
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Little tubs of mascarpone are like $5 each.
Oh, so you have to refrigerate it.
You do have to refrigerate
it.
Like,
what do you do? You like make it, and by the time you're done making it, like half of it is gone bad because it's so huge.
I definitely think with these kinds of videos, you just have to see the fun.
I can't see the fun, Gemma. I can't see the fun.
Okay, what's the next topic, homie?
I don't have the sense. I don't have the temperament for this sort of thing.
Well, I thought I didn't realize I was the fun one, but apparently I am.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about something really fun called yogurt bark.
I got the more interesting topic than you did.
Okay, fine. If you don't have a pool, an empty pool to fill with tiramisu, but you want to do something else delicious that you can actually refrigerate or freeze, I've just been seeing all over TikTok. I've been seeing yogurt bark, which I know this is a really weird shift from tiramisu, but we're going to talk about it anyway because it's so yogurt bark is do you know what yogurt bark is?
Yeah, we made it around, I want to say like 8 years ago for Bigger Bolder Baking. Kevin, actually, it was funny. I never heard of it. And then Kevin said to me, you should make yogurt bark. I think it was something on Pinterest like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, like doesn't seem very exciting to me.
Well, that was my, because I've never had it, and you made it before my time, and I'm not
like
tried it.
Really something you would like. So the good thing about it is it's versatile. You can do any different types of flavors.
Uh-huh.
You can do toppings. You can do mix-ins. You could do like a Dubai frozen yogurt bar. You could do
Ooh.
like a protein frozen yogurt. You could do raspberry and pistachio frozen and do all sorts of fancy stuff. Or you could keep it simple. Kevin used to snack on it when it was in our freezer after we made it.
Uh-huh.
And it's protein. In mine, there was no added sugar, I want to say. They were easy and it stayed frozen. So it was kind of just like the perfect snack when
Yeah.
you needed something sweet and you needed it fast. Otherwise, you might grab for something else.
So you had no sugar, but did you sweeten it in any way? Did you have honey or
Fruit,
like jam or something?
honey. And actually, do you know what? I did a peanut butter and jelly one and I did swirl jam into it.
Oh, that's probably really good.
Yeah. And then you have like your sweet from the fruit, then yes, you can put honey into it.
I almost think you would do it with like a vanilla yogurt or something, so it would have that sort of
Yeah.
sweetness to it.
I would
But
prefer to vanilla my own yogurt rather than buy a vanilla yogurt.
yeah, they're
you know,
so
the way, the
sweet.
quality.
But like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I usually when I have breakfast, when I have like Greek yogurt for breakfast, I put nothing in it. I just put some fruit on top of it, but I don't put any sweetener or any maple syrup or anything.
Well, that's because you're just better than all of
What-
us, Annie.
No, I just like it that way. But I feel like if I was to do something like yogurt bark, I would want some sugar in there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would want it to
A little
be
bit of honey,
sweet.
maple syrup.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
It is fun. I was really surprised to see how well it did all those years ago.
Yeah.
But it was novelty.
Uh-huh.
It was a good ingredient, good for you,
Right.
and also it appeals to kids. I've made it with George. I've
Right.
actually made this with George. He didn't eat a ton of it, but he loved the idea of making it.
Uh-huh.
And then also one that's a nice one for kids also is a little bit of cocoa powder. Don't ever be afraid to put a little bit of cocoa powder in something with yogurt because you kind of get, if you've had chocolate yogurt,
Mhm.
it's you get that kick of chocolate and a little bit acidic. It's just like
Uh-huh.
a really nice combination. I put
Yeah.
bananas into mine. So it really did feel like a dessert.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
That sounds. Does it melt like when you pick it up? Does it melt like right away?
I mean, yeah, you just have to pick it up.
You
and eat it.
just eat it fast. Yeah. Well, but that's fun. I feel like
Yeah,
it would be as fun to eat as it would be to make, which is
Yeah,
kind of like
super-
a great win-win.
Yeah, super versatile, easy, like what you have in the fridge.
Yeah. Okay, so Gemma, I have some bad news for you. Summer's almost over.
That's not bad news for me. You kidding me? I live in the valley in LA. It's 110 degrees outside.
Well,
That is music to my ears.
man, I have to say the whole sort of, it's not that I take the whole summer off, but there's something easy about the kids having a different routine, and not having to like get up and get them to school and then pick them up and get them to their activities. And it's just like there's an ease to it.
Yeah.
As we're now like in the middle of August, I'm like, okay, so I think it's time for us to get in the mix and talk about how we can be way more organized.
Okay.
This,
Heading into September?
heading into September.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I feel like I'm still coming down off of the chaos of the spring, and just like everything was last minute because there was no time to do anything except for last minute. We woke up, shoved some food down everybody's throats, got them off to their things, and I just kind of think like, okay, there's a little bit of time before everything starts up and gets busy. I just feel like, what can we do for breakfasts, lunches, dinners? What can we do to like just like ease the pressure?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was thinking a little bit, I like maybe want to start with like just breakfast because, why not? Beginning of the day. I definitely get into the rut of like cereal, eggs and toast. Like what is fast? But like how do we expand on what are like some great things that you can prep ahead of time
Yeah.
so that like you're not just getting into like eating the same thing over and over again, grabbing a cup of yogurt or something like that as you're heading out the door. So I was thinking about like the qualities that I was thinking about was like they have to be quick. Like if you're cooking it 5 minutes or less, something that you can just warm up, something that you can make on the weekend if you have a little bit of time, and then you can put in the fridge or the freezer and grab, and then you can have like a variety of things through the week, which I think is a really wonderful thing to do always, is have variety.
Well, there's like during the pandemic, there was such a huge trend of meal prep.
Uh-huh.
And all over my Instagram was like meal prep videos and how to do it best. And on a Sunday, you get all your stuff ready. But you can also do the same for baking.
Right.
And a lot of maybe your breakfast stuff, your lunches, your snacks are baked goods.
Right.
Not always sweetie baked goods, but like baked goods that we can also get ready to go.
Right. So like if you're like, say you've got some time on the weekend, like, I mean, there's like things like muffins, that can be made fully baked and frozen. Pancakes, pancakes actually, like, you can freeze them, but you can also, like, we have made pancakes on a Sunday and they lasted definitely until Thursday. Totally fine, just in the fridge.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what I do? Because with George, so I have a recipe for, it is pancakes for two.
Uh-huh.
And it's a really handy one for George. A cup of flour, a cup of buttermilk, and then your raising agents.
Right.
And it gives me enough for that day. And then I'll freeze the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do a pancake or a waffle, so for the pancake, I'll reheat it again in the microwave. But for the waffle, I'll actually put it back in the waffle machine and to crisp it up. And I've had moments, both Kevin and I have dealt with like, I want a waffle. And you're thinking like, I'm not making waffles. There's no waffles. And then you realize you have one floating around in the freezer.
Right.
And you're like, and then you just put it back into that machine again and it's as good as new.
And it's so gratifying, right? You're just like, oh, it's like a Wednesday morning and like everyone's like running late and you're like, oh, look, there's waffles for breakfast and they're homemade.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it like not as a special weekend treat, you can always put whole wheat flour in your batter, like half and half. Like I wouldn't do 100%, but you can you can put some mashed bananas in there. You can put ground up oats in there. So you can make them a little bit more nutritious.
Yeah. I agree with you that like I when you go to Trader Joe's and you see the pre-made food that they have, some of the pre-made stuff they have is a box of pancakes.
Right.
I mean, you do that at home anyway. Just freeze your own pancakes and don't go to Trader Joe's and pay $4 for 6 little pancakes.
Absolutely. So like I definitely say like, make a little extra on the weekend. Do you know the other thing I was thinking about, and I don't know if you've had experience with this, but your microwave, like you have like microwave, like do you have a microwave muffin?
A breakfast muffin? Yeah, a few different ones.
So because is there leavening in there?
Yes.
There is is it baking?
Yeah, but it's okay though to make them ahead of time.
Yeah, like could you mix it up the night before?
Yeah, so the mug meals are great for that.
Yeah.
Mix it up the night before, keep it in the fridge 24 hours, cook it at the latest 24 hours later, cook it fresh the next morning.
Right. So like if you've got some time the night before on any day of the week, you mix up some mug meals, you put them in the fridge, microwave them. It takes like 1 minute, maybe 2.
Yeah, it's usually average 2.
And then you've got this like hot breakfast.
Yeah.
That like, can have some like fruit in it, and maybe it has an egg in it.
Yeah, sweet, savory, do your oats. Yeah. So it was around 11 years ago that we came up with the mug cakes, and that was in September. And the reason they did so big, because we'd kind of planned it, but they hit back to school, back to work. People transition in September sometimes. And we really... kids going to college and cooking for the first time. I went to boarding school and we had access to a microwave. So like it really covered a lot of different demographics. And so one of the reasons why they did so well. The great thing about the mug meals, for those of you who don't know, we have around 100 mug meal recipes. I see them today now all over the internet. I very rarely would I say this, but like I was the OG mug lady, 11 years ago. And we did it all. And when we started to venture into savory, that was just skyrocketed, the whole thing, making pizza. Like I got so much press and coverage on TV, on radios and newspapers all over the world. And it was so unique.
Right.
But the thing about it is, and I'm getting at, is that when we started to do it, I said to Kevin, like, people have made a mug cake wasn't many, but like somebody had made a mug cake already online. They used a box cake and a can of 7-Up or something like that. It was like, whatever I do as a professional chef has to be the opposite of that.
Right.
So we came at it from a professional perspective, using all good quality ingredients, making it real food, fast, not fast food, not throwing junk in there. And we built this repertoire over the years of sweet and savory, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. And then it really resonated with people. Yeah. And then the creativity of it for people who do eat out of their microwave every day. They were like, wow, I didn't know I could do this. Sure. I've only been buying like meals that are in the microwave section of my supermarket.
Yeah. And sure. And like when it's cold, you can have something like hot right away. Yeah. It's really nice.
Like ramen, pizza, pasta, Alfredo, mac and cheese.
All in a mug?
Yes.
Wow.
Peanut butter, peanut butter and oatmeal raisin. I'm not going to go on. Go to biggerbolderbacon.com because the whole list is there.
Yeah.
But those are a secret weapon for so many different people living different lifestyles.
Great. Yeah. Like, and just like first thing in the morning, great, easy. You can make it the night before. And then we also just mentioned oats. And you also have a recipe for overnight oats.
Yes.
And granola. Also great things to just like set up on the weekend, set up the night before, have something really good and nutritious first thing in the morning that you can just like grab and go. Maybe like you have a little like more time in the morning and then you can make some dry pancake mix.
That's a good point, Ami. I remember, so to go a step, before you make your pancakes, here's another thing you can do is weigh out your dry and weigh out your, and I have this delis, little tubs of recipes of pancake mix. Keep it in my fridge. You don't have to keep it in your fridge. You can keep it in your pantry. Just label it so it's not there for like 4 months. Then just write on top of it what liquid you need to add and then just pull it, mix it with your liquid,
right,
ready to go. I remember years ago, I must have been in my early 20s, watching Nigella Lawson go into her kitchen and she had this big plastic tub of dry pancake mix. And she also said it was waffle batter because it's all the same. She would take she knew that 2 scoops of this mix equaled 2 cups of liquid and 2 whatever. And I thought it was like, this is genius.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely genius to do something like this.
Right.
I still think to this day, it's like so smart. So like really like, it gives you the ability to have lovely homemade things, to take the stress off at 6:30 in the morning of looking for your recipe, weighing out the ingredients, having a child saying, where's my waffles?
Yeah, like who wants to do that? Who has the time to do that?
Make life easy and do the stuff on a Sunday, like you said.
And but then you've also have some like sort of like, say you wake up super early and you've got like a, 45 minutes, but you've got some like other like assemble the night before and throw in the oven recipes like
when I for especially around the holidays I love these if I know I'm entertaining people, but you can do shashuka, we have breakfast casseroles, savory and sweet. I have a croque madame bread pudding which is with ham and mustard. Remember that one, on so delicious. I have sweet French toast casseroles, so easy to assemble. And it's not, they benefit from being left overnight. It's not that you're being lazy, you're actually, improving the flavor and improving the texture of it because it's going to soak up all of the lovely liquid. Right. Let it sit overnight, next morning straight into the oven.
It's so nice. Just like right at the beginning of a busy day, it's cold outside, you get like some like hot baked something. So like, I mean, these are just like some things like, like how do we have better breakfast? How do we start our day out better? Maybe it doesn't happen yet with George because you get a lot of the communication from the teachers. But what starts to happen with me, with my kids now is like all of a sudden, they come home from school and it's like 9 o'clock at night and they're like, I need to bring, treats in for my class tomorrow. I'm like, I'm sitting down, I'm watching TV. Like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, really, you want me to get up and do something? So there's like, or like, you work in an office and like, there's like an event on Friday when everyone brings in something and you're exhausted because it's been a whole long week with like your family or your work or your long days. So how do you participate? How do you get to be like a team player? And like, what are some things that we can suggest that like you make ahead to bring to your office event or to bring for like the school, like bake sale or, your kid has a birthday and they get to bring a treat in and you forgot because you were busy, whatever. Like one thing that we talk about a lot is like cookie doughs. Yeah. Like you can make cookie doughs now and have them and bake them off in November. Like you can, cookie doughs or any kind of cookie dough, shortbread. I can't think of a single cookie dough that doesn't work frozen. And the thing with cookies is you do want to it's better to freeze the dough and then bake them, maybe even the night before. And then have them. But then you always have them at the ready if somebody like needs a batch of something. Yeah.
I've said this a lot. Like I have a very busy lifestyle. I have a 5-year-old. We work a lot. There's very little downtime. I've stopped bringing big desserts to people's houses. I've stopped bringing a big cheesecake. I've stopped doing those kinds of things. I will, for an activity, I will make cookie dough with George. And, for the activity, I'll bake him off like a few cookies, but then I'll scoop the rest and I'll keep it in the freezer. I will dip in and out of my stash. And anytime somebody says they're going somewhere, or if we're going somewhere, get invited somewhere, whatever, I have a variety of all different types of cookies. I just get 2 of these ones, 3 of those ones, whatever it is, no nuts. And then I bake them off fresh. I put them in the fridge overnight. I bake them off fresh the next day. We did our cookie tasting last week. Those were all pre-made because I like to age them. And then I baked them off that morning.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I love cookies also. Everybody loves cookies. They're easy to eat. You can pick one up. You don't even need a napkin. People don't need, there's no knives, there's no forks, and you can just grab it and go, because I would say I'm a socially conscious eater. If something is on a table and it looks like a lot to eat when there's a lot of people standing around and talking, whatever, I just won't go, I won't touch it.
Yeah.
Because it will be too cumbersome for me to eat.
Right.
I want something easy and to bite.
I feel like they're kind of like a low commitment treat, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, a big
but with
piece
high
of cake.
yields.
Yeah.
They're so yummy.
Yeah, they're so good. And, like I have to say, even easier than cookie dough, if you're like, wow, I just like, my days are crazy. Brownies and blondies, actually, you can fully bake.
Yeah.
Slice into serving sizes and then freeze that. And they freeze beautifully.
Yes.
Like I have made a batch of brownies for, an event. My son had a bar mitzvah a couple of months ago, and there was over 100 people there, and I was making desserts for everybody. And one of the things I made was like several batches of brownies, sliced them up a month in advance because I was doing so many other things last minute, pulled them out, and they were incredible.
Yeah.
They tasted like they were fresh baked. So that's kind of a nice thing to just batch bake and have in your freezer.
I totally agree with you, because we did butterscotch brownies recently, and we did like 4 batches because we filmed a video for it. And I put the extra in my fridge. And I've always known this, blondies and brownies, they freeze and defrost like new.
Yeah.
And if you want if you want to refresh them a little bit, you can put them in the oven if you want, or put them in the microwave for a few seconds. But those freeze so well. And I often will do a mix of different types of cookies and brownies, put them in a box, and people think that like, where did she get these delicious treats?
Right. And yeah, it's like, so, and this is actually like a good time to also think about, say you have a birthday, like like my daughter's birthday's in September, and we're already school has started. We're already busy. If she will tell me now what she wants for her birthday, I can bake off those cake layers and wrap them up and put them in the freezer. I can make the buttercream. I can put that in a airtight container, put that in the freezer. And then come her birthday weekend, when we're busy with her party or whatever, all I have to do the night before is pull out all of that stuff and assemble it.
Yeah.
So that's another nice thing to keep in mind. Like if you've got like birthday parties after a busy week, you can freeze cake layers in advance. You can freeze frostings in advance. You can even make homemade cake mix on biggerbolderbaking.com. There's a homemade cake mix recipe. I
think what you're saying right now, it appeals to me because it's a bit of a quieter time. Do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now. Do that stuff now. And I will tell you my little secret, especially because you don't have an air fryer, right?
No.
So we have an air fryer, and we live and die by it. It's not the biggest one. It's just like perfect for our family. But when you're talking about like kind of pre-made food cooked off fresh, I will often make sausage rolls, and I'll have them frozen in the freezer. I will make little pastry pouches, and one of my tips is always to have puff pastry, and they could like be a little pizza one, like cheese and ham, or like whatever it is, and cook those fresh in my air fryer in minutes. And then also something for George's, and they can be used for a lunchbox, for kids or for grown-ups. And then also what I do for George is I make my goldfish crackers. I roll them out, I stamp them, I freeze them flat, and then I put them in a baggie or a tub. And then for his lunch, his compartment, because he's only in school for half a day, so he only needs a little amount, but I'll cook off 2, they're big, goldfish crackers, and I'll put them in, and they're baked off fresh.
This is great. So this is also like, kind of taking us out of like these kinds, like into like after school snacks or during school snacks. You've got like crackers, like that dough that you can make and have in the freezer so that you always have a fresh batch of crackers. I know like we have crackers that we buy a package of crackers, somebody opens the package, someone eats a handful, and then they go stale.
Yeah.
And so to have like a few, and then you can make a small batch for a week, you can, have biscuits like scones or like little sausage rolls.
Scones are good. Sausage rolls, I have to say, I like. How about also for after school, pigs in a blanket?
Yeah, all of that stuff, like homemade in the freezer. Kids come home from school, they need a quick snack. You don't, something like easy that's going to fill them up. especially like a sausage roll or a pigs in a blanket that have a little protein in them so they can last through dinner.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about all kids, but my kids definitely come home starving and need something immediately, so like that's kind of a nice thing. But then, okay, so then like, how about like dinner? What do we do for like end of the day? And like now we end up having activities sometimes until 8:00 at night, and then we need to eat.
Yeah.
And
so to pre-make, I would say it's takes a bit of time, but like have frozen pizza doughs. In your have frozen pizza doughs. Sometimes as an activity, it's not really pre-made, but George and I would love to make pasta.
Yeah. Oh, but speaking of pizza, I think we also have
the 15-minute pizza.
A 15-minute pizza, which is great, but also a frozen pizza.
Yes.
So on biggerbolderbaking.com, you make the frozen you make the pizza, and then do you par bake the crust? Do you make it a little bit, or is it totally raw?
Yes, I did. I par baked it.
And then
you top it, and then you freeze it like that.
So great to like make up some of those. Especially on the weekend if you're making pizzas, maybe make a few extra that you have like as a frozen pizza.
Yeah,
and then you can have that as like a quick dinner. Or like you were saying, homemade pastas?
Homemade pastas. Some dinner options that are mug meals also, and they're handy if you're catering for yourself, is mac and cheese in a mug. I actually have a mug chili in there. Breakfast burrito, which in our house, burrito can be eaten at any time of the day because if George is going to eat eggs and protein and bacon and cheese, I'm all about it no matter what time it is. I even have a sweet potato hash, shakshuka in a mug, those kinds of things. Really fast meals, one mug, very few ingredients. And these are pantry staples. These are not foreign ingredients that you should have to head out to go get them.
Right. Oh, and like a while back, Gemma, you and I, we made dumpling dough.
Yeah.
It takes a while to roll out all that dumpling dough, but it's kind of a fun activity. You can do it. My kids love stuffing the dumpling dough. We sit around a table, we fill them all together, put them on a tray, freeze them.
Yeah.
And then once they're frozen, you switch them to a Ziploc. And then you've got like an instant dinner like that. You put a little side veggie, you like steam your dumplings.
I love that.
And then like that's a perfect thing to set up on the weekend.
And then you put them into soup, and now you've made like your own, like you've made your own ramen or whatever.
Yeah. So like all of that kind of stuff. But then there's also hand pies.
Yes, hand pies are great.
You've got some savory hand pies. You've got like a mushroom one, a chorizo one. Those things you can assemble.
Yeah,
you can have in the freezer.
You can bake them if you want. Keep them raw, and then what I like to do is bake them off fresh.
Bake them from frozen. It doesn't take that long, and then like you've got like also like a really quick dinner. But they're also like, even if you're not going to do like a whole dinner, just dinner elements like you mentioned, like pizza dough, pie crusts. If you have frozen pie crust and you have enough time to like throw together some vegetables or some proteins and put them into a galette.
Yeah.
And then you can have like a quick dinner that way, or you can top a pot pie with it if you've got that pastry that right away, cornbread muffins or biscuit doughs, corn tortillas, roti or paratha. I love making Indian food. I love, making like some like savory vegetable. The one thing that stops me, my family loves it so much. The one thing that stops me is, I don't know how my mom did it, but she would be able to make dal, rice, vegetable, and like roti all in half an hour. And it would be this like gorgeous meal. And I'm like, it takes me a full half an hour just to roll out the roti. And like, I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. We're just going to have like grilled chicken because I have less time, I think, than my mom did in the evenings. Or less energy. But I have found that you can make a giant stack of roti or paratha and like freeze them in like stacks of 10. And then everything else is so quick. And then you have this like the thing that takes a long time that might keep you from wanting to make a homemade meal. And like you like throw some, veggies and or meat if you eat it in a pot. And then you've got these rotis right away. So
that's a very good point. And lots of flatbreads. You could build a whole meal around that. Like I said, tortillas, roti, paratha.
Yeah.
That's just really great. Yeah, that's just to get like, get your wheels turning of like, because I get stuck in a food rush.
I feel like I think I make the same 7 things on rotation until I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah. Until your family tell you have to stop. That's when you know you have to stop.
Right, exactly.
Let's head into the bold baking hotline and see what questions people have around this.
Okay, so Gemma, I have a question for you. about pancakes. And someone is asking, can I freeze pancake batter to cook them fresh on demand? Or is it better to make the pancakes and reheat them? I want to keep their fluffy texture.
I cook them off, and then I freeze them, and they're still fluffy. Yeah. If you want them freshly done, which I understand because years ago I would have thought to myself, like, that's the way I want it. I will say I saw on, I feel like it was a TikTok video, people putting pancake batter into ice cube trays and putting like a few blueberries in one, maybe a little banana in another, like flavoring whichever way you want. Then putting the frozen ice cubes directly on the pan, they cook down and you make these little silver dollar pancakes and they're like fresh and lovely.
Really?
Isn't that nice?
Have you tried that?
No, I wanted to. I saw this woman do it.
We should definitely try that. Do you think that would work if the pancake batter has baking soda in it?
Yes, I'll be fine.
You think so?
I've been doing this so many years now. I very rarely see, and if I think it'll be fine. I do. Mm-hmm. And if they are, then it might make it a little bit flat, but it won't make it not yummy.
Right.
And amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it just won't be as thick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can do it. But like I prefer to just get it all done at once, and then George never knows that they're like they're frozen pancakes.
No. When you my go-to is usually just baking them off and then eating them. But I kind of love the ice cube pancake batter idea.
Isn't that fun?
Kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was a great idea. So I've got one for you. What is your go-to bake for a school event? I want something that I can maybe make in advance and freeze and that everyone will like. And I think you already answered that question.
We did. Brownies. Make brownies.
Make brownies.
Brownies, blondies. Or cookie dough if you want to, if you have time to bake.
Can I just tell you something? For school events and stuff like that, don't even bother scooping your cookie dough. Push it into a pan, bake it in a pan. So now you're not spending your time scooping it. So now you just have tray bakes.
Oh, that's even better.
Even better, right? Yeah. And now you have less edges and all goo.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That kids love that.
See, there you go.
That. Well, also, look, I mean, it's not freezing at advance, but pantry staples, Rice Krispie treats always work.
That's true.
Everybody loves that.
And on that note, I learned a lot.
I did too.
I feel a little bit more organized in my head, at least.
I feel inspired to be organized after we talked about all of this. I can't
I just want to go try those pancakes now. Thank you, Ami. Lovely as always. And thank you everybody for watching, for listening. Please do not forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. And we will see you back here again, same time, same place next week. Take care. From HRN and the Bold Baking Network, you are watching the Need to Know Baking Entertainment podcast.